Now we continue in wisdom, about wisdom in 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Continuation of this chapter. In chapter 2, verse 2, St. Paul gave
For I resolved
Yes.
to know nothing while I was with you, except Jesus Christ and Him crucified.
This is a very difficult thing in these days. We try to learn so many things. Better to learn that and learn that, learn that, learn that. But St. Paul says, I have.
For I resolved to know nothing
other than
while I was with you, except Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. It sounds like a fanatic approach, correct? Oh, only Jesus Christ? That's it. Once you fall in love with Jesus, it's a love affair. Once you fall in love with one person, can you love another person? Normally not. If somebody love simultaneously other person, that means you really not in love. If you have fallen in love with Christ, you belong to Christ. Then you will be eager to know more and more and more and more about Christ. That's it. It is not a fanatic approach, it is actually a Christocentric, Christ-centered, Christ-inspired. St. Paul speaks all these things from his own experience. He was a Jew, but now he is a Christian. In that way, he decided to know nothing about all that old stuff. According to his Jewish teachings, he resolved, I don't want to know. So this is also important for you today. You simply open the internet, you are getting so many pop-up. You know this, you know this, you know this. You have these days WhatsApp, Facebook, everything. In all these things, people are pushing you so many informations, correct? But it is up to you what you must choose, what you should take. So this is very important to choose what you should learn. St. Paul says, I have decided, when I was with you, I have resolved that I don't want to know anything else except Christ crucified. My daughter, when she was, this is relating to as a youth, when I was a youth, I have fallen in love with wisdom. So even when I was an engineer, so many works. I know here in the Mahul there is a Union Carbide factory. They had a big equipment. For 6 months it was lying there. Nobody knew how to install that. 6 months. It was such a difficult work. They announced 3 times in the newspaper. Then somebody knew about me. He has shown me this newspaper. Then they said, Thomas, why don't you go and try this? I went there. I sat near that machine 3 days, praying for a wisdom how to. And on 3rd day night, around 12 o'clock, I screamed and shouted, Eureka! Yes, I found out how it can be done. My wife got into panic. What happened to you? No, I know now how that can be done. And finally, it was done. Oh, marvelous work. So I have been in love with wisdom. And before my marriage itself, I was so much in love with wisdom. So as soon as I got married, I told my wife, see, I have a small desire that when we have a girl, we should call her wisdom. We must put the name wisdom. So she is for it, but then what name? Wisdom is nobody used the name. Sophia is an English name. I wanted an Indian name. Then we choose Vidya. Vidya. So my daughter's name is Vidya. Just because of this love for wisdom. So you must know how far, from when onwards I was in love with wisdom. And then she grew up. I think when she was in 8th standard or so, we were in Chembur. So adjacent to Loreto Convent we were staying, just neighbors. So once we got a letter from the principal that the girl is not performing very good, so you have to come. So then my wife brought this letter to me. See, your daughter wisdom. And then it was really embarrassing for me. I said, don't worry, I will go and take care of it. I am the father, I must do it. I went. So by this time, in Tabor already the retreat center began. At the beginning of the retreat center, me and Father Naik Ambaram, when we were all together, I was going there and helping them and all. So there was coming a youth retreat. So I told this principal, see, my daughter, she is very hard-working girl, but she is not getting mark. Yeah, that's the problem. So you have to do something. Yes, I have decided. You give her 1 week leave. Oh no, 1 week leave. 1 week this child is away from the school, then she will fail. Sister, the problem is she needs wisdom. Holy Spirit will give her wisdom. It is not your teaching, it is not her learning, but there is in between something else. My sister started looking at me with a very... She said, no. She must more work hard. You give her some tuition. I said, all that we did. She is working hard. She is sitting and learning so many hours. No, but 1 week she cannot be away. Eventually I said, sister, I am the father of the girl. When I said this, okay, you take care wherever you want. And I took her. It is not easy. 1 week the girl is away. Now, I considered wisdom can compensate that. After 1 week retreat, I told her, you only pray for wisdom. And then the next session she performed, she excelled, she got wonderful marks, high marks. And she is now in Austria, in Europe. She is a theologian now. She has learned theology, masters and licentiate, and her husband too. So maybe they may be a very rare couple who both have licentiate in sacred theology. It is not for career building, it is not for making money, but knowing God. And now because now these are the very few people in the world, particularly a married person with 2 children, going to the theology college with a child. These are all, nobody could imagine. A very rare product. So now she is integrating to the diocesan religious study, and we, as a part of my ministry, we are running a internet television channel in German language in Austria for German speaking people. So they are also involved with that. So why I say the wisdom. Now, can you ever imagine a girl going away for 1 week only for wisdom? These are the type of thing we have to do. So once few of us, at least one of you are convinced, once you pray more and more for wisdom, then all your thinking, line of thinking or line of thought will change. Line of thought will change. Of course, others may call you crazy or foolish, but you know what you are doing is right. From whom? From the wisdom of God. Such powerful it is. I never regret. I feel, I appreciate her that she is putting lot of effort in gaining the God's wisdom. Of course, I gave little direction. So there is also a possibility of a new way of life. It is not that everybody become engineer, computer genius or IT personnel, or that is surely not the plan of God. In the plan of God, there are also possibility for learning theology, or rather learning about God's wisdom. But we are not exploring this possibility. We are 2000 years Christianity here. We have so many schools for every parish. We have engineering colleges, graduate colleges, management colleges, medical colleges, but not even one good Bible college for the whole India. We have many Bible colleges, the way I mean to say. All our religious institutions, say take it, whether Jesuits or CMI or CMC or Don Bosco, what is not with them? They have all possibilities. Every diocese has so many possibilities. I know why nobody is starting this. Because eventually you, the common man, do they have a thirst for it? Suppose we will say, oh, what will I get if I learn theology? Rokda apo. Rokda. You understand that? How much money I get? All our studies are oriented on money making. Then what you gain is not really worth a thing. Why can't Jesus Youth have a Bible college? At least you have 1 year commitment, people. You have another commitment for 1 year. Only sit and learn Bible. At least this will benefit your whole lifetime. These are some thoughts. Anyway, I have decided to start a Bible college, online Bible college. It is first I am doing it in Malayalam, then I will do it in English, an online Bible college. What we need to learn more and more is about God. Jesus said, man is not living with bread alone, but with every word that comes from the mouth of God. But what are we learning? Man is not living with bread, but all what we are learning is for bread. Jesus said also, we are not to hard work for perishable bread, but imperishable bread. But what we are doing only for perishable bread. Are you shocked? That's it. There is a gross mistake, I would say. I say I don't regret in resigning from my job and doing last 25 years full-time work. I feel proud that, Lord, you sustained me, you led me, you guided me. I feel very happy about it. I could have worked in Bombay to a multinational, gaining a lot of money, and I would have been a very rich man here now. But I would not have got the riches of the Lord. Okay. So St. Paul, all this I am giving the flesh to the word, what St. Paul says, when I was with you, I resolved to know nothing other than Christ. I would recommend, why don't you dedicate at least 1 month, start with 1 month, I don't do anything, only sit and read and learn Bible and know more about God. Let somebody has guts do this. I know many of you were full-timers, 1 year you have dedicated, that is excellent. But there again you are on action. But this is in contemplation. You only sit with the Lord and know more about the Lord. I spend days in contemplation in some of the, when I was in Rome, where Mother Teresa sisters have a contemplatory convent, they have a small house in the compound, only 2 rooms, nobody, is completely a what do you call it, a solitude house, Nobody will talk to us. I am there, so I spent 5 days in solitude. Think about it. Switch off your telephones, laptop, everything, few days, and only pray for wisdom. When I was with you, I resolved not to know anything except Christ. Your whole life will change. Even 24 hours if you spend. Once I was in England, after the retreat I decided to take 1 day rest and prayer. So I told that priest, Father, I will be in the chapel full day. Okay, oh, yes, but don't disturb me. I said, all right. And by evening around 5 o'clock, I heard a voice. The Lord is telling, in my presence, 1 day is like 1,000 years. Yes, I know. It is written in 2 Peter chapter 3:8. I know that. Again the Lord started telling, in my presence, 1 day is like 1,000 years. That's the thing. In spite of whole day praying, so much of wisdom, still I fail to understand. The 3rd time the Lord said, my dear, you are already sitting in my presence. Correct? You are already in my presence. Yes. So, if you sit here 1 full day, that is 24 hours, it is like 1,000 years. I don't know, a powerful something, a special flow of the Spirit I began to experience. Because the Lord knew very well I could do it. I immediately got it. Yes, Lord, I will stay here till tomorrow morning 8 o'clock. So that I began 8 o'clock. Next day up to 8 o'clock I will sit here and pray. That means in this 1 day is like 1,000 years. You may not understand it in its full meaning. I understood. I was so excited. I immediately knocked on Father. Father, will you allow me? He said, all right, no problem. Oh my God. It was so powerful. And next day I rang up all my contacts, all my adoration centers. They were all excited. And now this began another type of a ministry. Now I have many of my prayer warriors. They take rest 1 day time, and night 12 o'clock they enter into this 24-hour adoration. They may eat and drink little bit. Some of them don't eat and drink anything. 24 hours they are with the Lord. At least a man can do once in his lifetime. Yes or no? It is marvelous, marvelous. My one intention was a particular mission we were beginning in Germany, and there were terrible spiritual opposition. Spiritual opposition means evil spirit fighting against us. So that was my one intention when I began the prayer. But in this way, when I reached around 12 hours of prayer, the Lord started showing me the actual situation of that area. Big evil spirits roaring coming to me, and immediately I could cast them out. And then I asked the Lord why I was not able to do it earlier. The Lord said, if you pray 2 hours, 3 hours, what power you will have? But when you pray 24 hours, you are charged with such a power is needed to cast out those demons, not your peanut prayers. Sorry. You understand? Okay, we go for adoration. Okay, 1 hour. So then half an hour we start looking, how many more time is there? Then 45 minutes, only 15 minutes more. Okay. These type of prayers, at least better than nothing. You know, we have in Mumbai lot of adoration centers. Find out one day, dedicate. Don't make big Facebook announcements and all. Just silent. Let nobody know. Switch off your phones. Take your Bible and a notebook to write down what the Lord speaks. And sit at least 24 hours. These are really solid ways. You will get such a experience which you will never forget in your whole lifetime. Even for the wisdom of God to flow in us, it is exactly like downloading. If a big file has to download, they will say, don't put off your computer, it will so many hours. Then that green bar, and there it is written so many hours. So you have to wait so many hours. What do you want from God? How much wisdom you want? You want a wisdom in half an hour? Then the download will be only such a minor thing. Suppose you are prepared, Lord, I am 24 hours with you. Download wisdom. Good. Then I will activate a big program. 24 hours continuous downloading. So, wisdom, what St. Paul says here now, when I was with you, I resolved not to know anything else. So, sometimes my son is also a Jesus youth leader. He is in New Jersey now. Earlier time I say, I tell him, don't do so many things at a time. So he said, Papa, computer means it is a multitask. If you don't use multitask, then computer has no meaning. Is it so? Okay, but when you are dealing with the contemplatory track of Jesus, your multitask will be your weakness. You concentrate fully only on Him, and you receive powerful. There is no multitask, because we are habituated in multitask now. One window we opened, that is email, another side Facebook, another side WhatsApp, another side some other news, all these things, another side our normal job. Anyway, we have to do some work, we are getting salary, so at least little time for that. All this we are doing in the office computer, using all that systems availability there. in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 5. This is a very important point. Chapter 2, verse 5 says,
so that your faith might rest not on human wisdom, but on the power of God.
Shall we repeat that? Everybody repeat that, please. So that
Your
faith
might
rest
not on human wisdom,
but on the
power of God.
on power of God. This is what a very important aspect of growing in Christ. You know, I have already said through baptism, rather faith is a gift of God. So you receive that gift. What is that gift means? It's a big packet. But in this big packet, a word you have to use is, what is the content of this? Inhales the cloudbands. What is the content of this? Inside this, there are so many beautiful boxes. Gold foiled box, yellow foiled box. Suppose on your birthday or marriage day you got a big gift. These days we have no time to even open those gifts. So people say, oh, my birthday was so beautiful. All the party went up tonight, 11 o'clock. Then I had to sleep. I could not have time to open the gifts. Next day early morning I went for the work. Now the next day is this. Then now only next Sunday I may try to open it. Yes or no? This is our field of. This is what happened. We have received all these gifts in our baptism, confirmation and the Eucharist. But I tell you, my dear friends, sorry to say, we have not opened the content of that gifts. This word, suppose you get a new book, what will you see first? What is the content, the first page, okay? Oh, very good. Okay, then I buy this. I read not only the content, I read the last page, the conclusion. This is another way of reading. Many of the book, I only read the conclusion. But the way I speak about the book, the people will think that I have by hearted the whole book. But only the conclusion, summary. At least, okay, the same way, this word content has a lot of meaning. John Paul II, in his letter to Europa, that is Ecclesia Europa is a apostolic letter. He mentioned Europeans, mostly 90% are Christians. But not even 10% know the content of the faith. Content. So this is what I will now will be expanding. We have received faith. Faith is a gift. That gift is a big packet. But inside that packet, you must know what are the contents. So St. Paul says, the basis of your foundation of your faith must not be human intelligence. Must be power of God. Now this is where we can use another word, should not be a superstitious way. Now I will ask you a question to explain this so clearly. I have already told yesterday, I asked somebody, what is the difference between the Spirit of God and the spirit of evil? It's the intellectual understanding. From the human point of view, we know so many things. But divine power, what is the difference between evil spirit and God's spirit? Time is almost over. If somebody knew the answer, you would have been so spontaneous in one sentence, you should have answered. So, fact. This is a big point. Once in Germany, a man came to me and said, Thomas Paul, my cousin, a young man, he is only arguing. I cannot answer all his arguments. Shall I bring him to you? I said, all right, bring. Okay, now he has come for what? To argue. This is the most difficult thing. And in particular in Europe, they will not sit quietly and listen all what I say. They will immediately dispute. They need an argument. That is a very good way. They find it is. So this man was arguing so many things. He said, oh, the Catholic Church lose everything. The church is going down. It's all because of the wrong way of the Pope. The Pope is not right. The cardinals are not right. The priests are not right. Why this is done like this? So many things. And because of all those things, he says, my faith has gone down. He says. So I said, but my faith has not gone down. I believe in the same Catholic Church. Then I asked him, see my dear, the problem is different. Were you having faith? No, I was having good faith. I was daily church going. I was praying rosary. I was praying. I was confessing. But now I don't like to do anything. Now, pay attention. Faith is a gift of God. Once anybody received that faith, it is an eternal content. It's a eternal content. Once you really received it, then it cannot go away. How you say? Because everywhere you say, oh, Europe lost faith, they lost faith, they lost. That is not a right expression. What do you think Europe lost? All these millions of martyrs, all these great saints like Saint Therese or Saint Anthony, Saint Francis, they are all from Europe. Have they gone away? Have they gone away? No. But you see, in winter time it is, ice is falling, no leaves on the tree. It does not mean the trees are dead. What is meaning? It is a winter time. In the springtime, all these trees are going to blossom. That is how faith. Faith, if you received, you cannot lose it. Then what do you mean? I lost my faith? No, you never had the faith. Argument become very hot. How can you say? Okay. Wait a minute, please. This is a point not to provoke you, to make you understand. You say you had faith. Now I am going to test you. I will give a test. If you answer, I say you had faith. If you don't answer, you yourself will know how much weak your faith was. I said, don't be panic. I will ask you a question. If you answer me, then I know you had faith. If you don't answer, you know how much less faith you had. But that is not to blame. That is for you to build up. I will help you. And then I asked this question, my dear, what is the difference between evil spirit and God's spirit? He said, both are spirit, so they may be same. I said, no. Oh, evil spirit even attacked Jesus. So evil spirit can do big thing even greater than Jesus. Sorry, no. So now you are curious what answer is, correct? The right answer is God's spirit is creator. God is creator and evil is only a creature. When the evil spirits came out of fallen angels, So even as the fallen angels were good angels, they were only God's creation. Now you got the whole idea now? That is what St. Paul says, your faith should not depend on human wisdom but on the power of God. It is from the Catechism also, 395. In 395 says, the power of Satan is nonetheless not infinite. He is only a creature. Powerful from the fact that he is pure spirit, but still a creature. Now you know, all over the world, even in all our charismatic groups, we are giving overemphasis upon the many action of the spirits. Yesterday, Father was speaking about that the apostles came rejoicing because they saw Satan is falling down. But the Lord said, there is nothing to rejoice about Satan falling down. Rejoice, but your names are written in heaven. So, all what is devil doing, he cannot do without the knowledge of God. God is the creator. All creations are under him. But yet God permits devil's action. God permits devil action because he has much greater power to rectify that. Suppose your little daughter is playing with some mud on your very mosaic good floor. Your husband comes and says, what is he doing? See, he is making this house dirty.